All right, got that thumbnail. Look, man, y'all want to know if y'all should buy an R6 in 2024, and I got the answers for you. You didn't know I had the answers for you. Matter of fact, some of y'all probably never seen this channel, but I got the answers for you. First off, got to hear that beautiful baby start up. Oh my God. If that wasn't enough for you right there, y'all tripping. But let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so starting off like that, obviously you can see this is my baby. This is my 2016 Yamaha R6. This is the bike that I love the most. Okay, that's cap. This is not the bike I love the most, but this is one of my most fun bikes that I've ever had. So I specifically chose to get this year R6 because me personally, I just love this year. I love the 2016. I love the Hornet look, and when I found the 60th anniversary, this bike had 1,000 miles on it. I had to buy it. It was bone stock, meaning I could do everything I wanted to do to it. Like, this is my baby. I love this bike so much. Now, if you don't know, Yamaha stopped making the R6. They stopped production on the R6, just like they stopped production on the R1. And then they replaced the R6 with the R7. One of the terrible moves I think Yamaha has ever made, but hey, it is what it is. But now you can see that a lot of people loved the R6, and they still love the R6. So clearly, if you're watching this video, you want to know if you should buy the R6, you should go with an R7, you should do something completely different and go with a different manufacturer. So let me tell you about the things that I hate and the things that I love about this bike, because I got a little bit of both. I got a lot of loves, but I do have a few hates. Now, I've been riding this motorcycle pretty much daily for what, 3 months now? Now, I've been riding motorcycles for 10 years, going on my 11th year. And through that time, I've had a Kawasaki ZX6. I've had multiple 1000s. I also have a ZX14. But the R6, out of every bike that I've had, is my most fun bike. It isn't my favorite bike, but it definitely is my most fun bike. And a lot of people may ask, why is the R6 your most fun bike when you've had 1000s and you've had bigger bikes? Because it's not necessarily about the speed. Alright, so first thing I love about this bike is the looks. Obviously, I just sat there and went on a rant about how I like the way they look. This bike looks incredible. Matter of fact, oh, damn it. There's no way I just hit my gear shifter and I look like a fucking dumbass. But yeah, you guys can see the bike real quick. The bike looks incredible. So that is the main reason why I bought this motorcycle, is because I love the way R6s look. Ever since they stopped production on this bike, I've hated that, and I wish they never did that, but they did. Anyway, the looks are incredible. This is the best looking 600 I think that has ever been produced. Now, that's more of an opinion based thing, but hey, it is what it is. Now, another thing I love about this bike is the way that it's geared. The RPMs go really high, making this bike sound like a freaking F1 car when you up in the RPMs. This bike redlines at 17,000 RPMs. It's the highest redlining 600 out of all of them. This bike with the right exhaust sounds incredible. Now, I have a GP exhaust on my bike, which makes it screaming loud, and I cannot tell you how much I love the way this bike sounds. And I get so many compliments on the sounds of this bike. Reality of it is, it's loud as heck. And it sounds really good. Again, the best sounding 600 in my opinion. Now, something that is a plus for me, but might be a minus for some other people, is the way that the bike is contoured. This bike puts a natural angle on your legs, body, and position to make you into more of a racing position. This is a track machine. Now don't get me confused, this is really good for the streets. However, this is an amazing track weapon. It is super sharp, it is super aggressive. Now, for a beginner, you might think this might be a little bit too much aggressive, especially if you sat on something like a Gixxer 600, but this bike is more aggressive, and I like it. Especially when I go to the twisties, it makes you feel so confident to be in a proper race position. It almost doesn't let you be in a wrong position. So like I said, it might be a benefit to some people and a con to other. To me, I like it. It's a benefit for sure. And I don't know. I love it. Now, when you look at 600s to a lot of people may not be what the typical person would call a starter bike. The reason that I call this bike, it's good for starters and it's good for professionals and it's good for everything in between, is because of how the RPMs sit yet again, right? Because this bike revs so high, all of the power is up top. And I'll show you when we get on the highway here. All of the power is up top, meaning at lower RPMs, it is very, very, very forgiving, which for a lot of new riders, you're going to need some forgiveness because you don't even know what you're doing. Not yet, you don't. We'll get on the highway here. And you can really slice with this bike. I'll show you. Alright, now I wouldn't recommend copying what I just did. However, obviously this is a real slicer. Now, that is one of the reasons that a lot of people may not think that this is a beginner bike, because as a beginner you do have the bike has the capability to do that. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it's the best thing to do. However, it does have that capability. But as an experienced or even a moderately experienced rider, that's what makes it super, super fun, is the fact that you can flip a switch and get active. Making it a bike that, like, bro, this is the fun bike. You don't always have to be fast to be fast. But don't get me wrong, this bike will still do 150 plus. It may not do 200, but you can still slice and you can still go fast. Now let's talk about some of the cons. The cons is this 2016 has no tech, no ABS, no traction control, no rider modes, no quick shifter, no auto blipper, no nothing. You get a motor and you get wheels. For a newer rider, that means it's less safety features. For somebody like me, that means there's less things that'll hold you back. Let's see, what RPMs will we be at? But yeah, so technically it is less safe than a newer bike maybe, or less safe than a lower cc bike maybe, because it has a lot of power and it has no aids. So that is a con. And again, another con would be the body positioning. Again, if you're brand new, this is the most aggressive body positioning that you would have for a 600cc sport bike. The thing about it is, if you're buying a sport bike, you want to be in an aggressive position. But if you're brand new, I can see why that would be a down. Now, another con to me is that on the highway, I'm cruising at about 7,000 RPMs. Meaning I'm a little bit higher than I would be on a leader bike. And if you're more experienced and you're trying to debate between going for a 600 or going for a 1000, if you do a lot of highway riding, the 600 is going to be staying in a higher RPM. You just don't have an option. It cannot go, you know what I mean? It's just part of having a 600. Now, it's not annoying, but if you got a loud exhaust like me, it can get pretty annoying because you get a lot of drone. That's just facts. Now, to me, also, I don't think that's that much of a con. Nor do I think that's worth not getting it. But I did have to mention it to you. And really, that's really all of the cons that I can think about. For me, I added a quick shifter, auto blipper. I've added everything that I wanted to this bike. Like, you can make a bike whatever you want to, and you really shouldn't overthink it. The only time I would say you probably shouldn't buy this bike is if people are marketing it up beyond reasonable belief. Like, again, because Yamaha decided to not make it anymore, it means that there are going to be a lot of people that's going to mark these bikes up. This is facts. However, it's still worth it to me. Hence why I bought one. Now, I would like to keep this as my track bike and get a 1000 and a cruiser as well. But right now, this is my my fun bike, and my ZX14 is my everything else bike. If you're trying to figure out if you should buy it, give it a buy. You live once. If you don't like it, figure out something else. But it's definitely worth it, and I love mine. So remember, guys, buy the R6. Oh, no. Okay. Remember, keep it 1K, aka 1000. Ride safe, stay blessed, man. Do what y'all gotta do to stay safe out here. Peace. Yeah, we're back here to make some bad financial decisions.